And we are now connected live with Benny Prawira, the head coordinator of Into the Light Indonesia, a suicide prevention community. Hi, Benny.
Hi.
Hey, thank you for joining us and talking with us this evening. Could you explain to us what exactly does your community do?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to be here and explaining more about my community as well as my works. So we definitely aim to increase the suicide prevention awareness in Indonesia, especially among youth and high-risk groups. We know that there are several groups who are more prone to suicide behavior, and therefore we take more cautions for that. To achieve this purpose, we conduct research, educational sessions and trainings, as well as systemic advocacy efforts to prevent suicide in Indonesia. We have three main working groups, which consist of the Suicide News Guideline Advocacy, the University Student Suicide Prevention, and for the suicide loss survivors, those who are bereaved by suicide.
All right, Benny, I'd like to ask first and foremost, the name Into the Light Indonesia. Why did you choose that? Because, I don't know, some people might consider it to be ambiguous. Why Into the Light?
Yeah, because we believe that suicide is actually the darkness that we can eradicate, as well as the literacy that we much needed is actually it can be enlightened within our society. So that's why we give it the name as Into the Light. We want to increase the knowledge, we want to increase the hope, we want to encourage more people to seek help, so they can go through their dark times and working into the brighter future.
Benny, as you know, we live in Indonesia where mental health, and even mental health, not to mention suicide, it's a big taboo, and it comes with a lot of stigma. How do you acknowledge this issue to the community and the public? How do you educate people in your community?
Yeah, when it comes to educate suicide to the community, it's quite a tricky situation actually. So we may not glamorize the stories, we may not sensationalize, but then in a way we have to inform.
Yeah.
So when we inform people, we really take very cautious approach about what kind of details they really want to tell, such as the statistics. It's okay to depict such numbers, but with more cautions that we do not glamorize them as a skyrocketing trend, for example. And then we also utilize the lived experience experts, those who have gone through these ideations and behavior. They really know what to say, they really know what to depict due to our training.
Yeah.
So we train them first about public speaking and how to deliver suicide without triggering others.
I see.
So that they can depict the story safely.
Okay, Benny, what kind of treatment or help would a person get upon contacting your community? For instance, maybe a teenager is suffering a lot from a lot of stress, so they make the call. So what happens to the person?
Yeah, actually, we are not a hotline center.
Okay.
Neither we are a clinic. So as a more research-based community, we provide them with informations about what to do when they have suicidal ideations, or when they have friends who have suicidal ideations. Also, we have this database developed with several other communities and organizations. A database of mental health professionals. It is all provided in our websites.
Okay, so is there a hotline for suicide right now?
Yeah, actually we have one, but it's private. It's not a national state endorsed one. So it's more built by the community networks in Bali, in Java. So there are so many community initiatives who are trying to address this issue as providing hotline, as well as not only hotline but also chat line.
Yep.
and emails. So there are many other who do the crisis intervention.
All right, Benny, let's talk about your staff. How many people are in the community, and could you tell us more about their backgrounds, please?
Yeah, for the staff, actually we have 5 main board of directors, and we also have volunteers. It's around 60 of them. We from various backgrounds, from various educational backgrounds, because we can provide them with the training for understanding more about mental illness, suicide, and how to conduct the campaign as well as the research.
Yep.
So, the only criteria that they have to fulfill is only living around in Greater Jakarta area, and they're around 18 to 35 years old,
I see.
because we are a very youth-based one.
So you said that the vulnerable population group is of course the youth and there are a lot more of these population groups. But what advice would you like to address for those who are coping with suicidal thoughts?
Yeah, well, actually, it's a quite tricky question to answer, yeah, because everyone have their own circumstances, everyone have their own different stories, and I come from a place of my own privilege as well. However, generally, I will say that it is indeed a challenging journey for recovery from suicidal ideation.
Yes.
But it works to try. When people have suicidal ideation, everything feels like a dark tunnel with no light at the end. That is how exactly suicidal mind works. And it is not your choice to be there, to be in that place. There are so many uncontrollable factors, biological, psychological, social, that contributes to your suicidal ideation. If everything feels too much, please just take small steps.
Yeah.
Breathe one at a time to stay alive and find your reason to live. Or whatever that makes you survive efficient, and stick to those reasons for another second, another minute, another hour, and another day.
Okay, Benny, we spoke about how mental health can be a contributing factor to suicide. What about self-esteem, self-worth, and self-appreciation? Are those also contributing factors, and are those still common among those people thinking about suicidal thoughts?
Yeah, of course, those factors related to the self is one of the significant factors that shape this suicidal ideation. When the self is in pain and hopeless, and they feel like they are worthless or just a burden for others, of course they see that life is no longer rewarding, and it feels like the pain is overwhelming, and the only choice they have is death. So that is why it is really important for us to address these self-related factors. But when it comes to self-esteem, self-worth, self-appreciation, even self-love, it doesn't just come from the individual itself.
Yep.
The self is shaped by the social determinants around them, by the supportive people around them.
So Benny,
So it is also important to address this.
just a question, probably the last one from us. In regards to what kind of self-talk or self-affirmation can you do as like as a first help? What's the first thing that you can do when you realize that you're having these thoughts?
Yeah, well, we have to admit that it is a part of our common humanity to feel the suffering.
Yeah.
We have to acknowledge our own feelings first. Our anger, pain, sadness, and depression. By acknowledging them and admitting that it is a part of our humanity, then we will try to be more kind to ourselves. And we will see that what do we really need at the moment. And that is a very important question, because from that question we will try to seek for our another reason to live. As simple as you want to feed your pet, as simple as you want to hug your friend, your parents, or anything. you just want to eat another snack for another hour.
Right. Simple,
Everything.
simple happiness.
So, yeah, the simplest thing is what matters the most when everything gets too much for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Benny. A very sensitive issue here, and this is still a largely untalked about topic for most people. So let's hope that those who are in need can get the help that they require. So enjoy the simple things in life.
Thank you, Benny.
Thank you, Benny.
Thank you.
Thank you,
was-
Benny.
That was Benny Prawira from Into the Light community.
You know, this is still a tough topic for me to talk about. For so many close friends of mine have had experiences of suicidal thoughts, and I've had to, go through those with them. But Benny's right. There is a light at the end of every tunnel, and although sometimes when you're having these thoughts, it's not visible. I have seen how people can really still find that light and happiness, in terms of darkness. All right, that was a tough one, but it is an important one to acknowledge that this month is mid, and if you should know somebody who needs your help in regards to having the suicidal thoughts, please do make sure that your presence is felt, because sometimes loneliness can make it even worse. But today, as mentioned in our headlines, is also World Ozone Day. This is an important day to celebrate. Find out details when we return on the 3 Hour News Show signature segment of See the Stories.